Hello, welcome to Ellen Ruth Soap. I'm Ellen, and today I'm really excited to make a landscape soap. It's going to be sort of a mountain range with a moon, and I've got these melt and pour. I made little moon embeds. Well, they're cylinders. I'm going to make them moons, and they have a red copper mica and a yellow that I put some gold mica in there. So I want them sort of like a orangey blood moon, really pretty. And what I used is, and you can get these, oh golly, Brambleberry carries them, Amazon, eBay, these little silicone cylinder molds is what I use to make these little melt and pour. You can do cold process in there too. I just chose to do melt and pour in there today. So for the fragrance on my landscape, I'm going to be using this Lingonberry spice from Brambleberry, and it smells great. They market it as a holiday scent, and I can see that. It's got like a berry with some crisp like fir needles, and it just smelled outdoorsy to me, and I was thinking of just a mountain range, and I'm kind of into moons right now. So it's going to be the scent for our moonscape mountain range soap today. So I've already got my embeds made. I'm going to get my safety gear on and get my hair pulled back, and we will come back and make some landscape soap. Also, if you enjoy my videos, please consider hitting the like button and subscribe. That would be wonderful. Also, I'm on Instagram. If you want more up-to-date soaping pictures and inspiration, check it out over there. Thank you. All right, I've got a little bit of prep work to do here on my landscape little melt and pour moon embed soaps. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I've got my hard oils melted. I'm going to pour them into my liquid oils, and I'm going to add all my additives. And what I have here is organic colloidal oats, kale and clay, and this is aloe vera leaf powder. And I'm doing the aloe vera leaf powder because I'm also using aloe vera juice as my liquid portion. And I thought it would add just a little bit of color too, because I'm doing like a mountain range, so I don't mind that it's a darker color. So that's powder additive that I want in everything. That's going to go in there. And we'll go ahead and add my hard melted oils here also. I've got all my additives blended. I even put the fragrance in here, so the oils are ready to go. So now what I'm going to do is, these are my Essential Depot loaf molds that I'm going to use. And I can tell that my little moon embeds are too long, just by a little. So how I'm going to measure that is pop the mold out. I'm just going to score it and cut. So it's hard to do facing you all, but there we go. And bring it back and just test it. And that is a perfect fit. And you can kind of see the swirls in there. I'm super happy with how that turned out. It's going to be like a really cool looking moon. All right, I just want to show you the colors that I'm going to do for my little mountain range. So the very first hill that I'm going to pour on an angle, I'm going to do a in the pot swirl of cabin fever and camouflage. And they're these little colors I got from Nurture Soap to try out, but they just look very earthy, and I think it'll make a real pretty first mountain. And then in the back, so the second pour is supposed to look like a shadow, I'm going to be using this Plum Dusk mica, because if you look at photographs of mountain ranges, the ones in the distance almost look black. So I'm going to do like a deep purple, you know, purple mountain majesty. So that's going to be the mountain range. For the sky, I'm going to use Stormy Blue mica for the main part of the sky with a navy blue, a dark navy blue swirl in there to make it look like a night sky. This isn't going to be a daylight. I definitely want it to be a night sky. So that'll be the skyline. That's the deal. So to hold my molds up, I have my little additive cups, and they are the perfect height to rest the wire on the basket for a sideways pour. So that's how I'm going to prop up my baskets when it's time to pour. What I'll need to do is I'm going to take my oils and my lye before I mix them and split them into separate containers. And I have my batter all measured off here. This is my first portion of aloe vera lye solution and my oils with the aloe leaf powder, which is why it's that darker color. And this is going to be my green hillscape. I have my camouflage and cabin fever green micas mixed over there. So first things first, I'm going to add my lye solution into my oils and get that mixed in. Just going to give it a quick stick blend and then we'll split it up and color it. I'll stick blend more if I need to after I get my colors incorporated. So make sure that's well emulsified. And boy, this smells really good. That lingonberry spice is really nice. That's a great scent. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball this. So here is our, let's see, this one is camouflage. We'll go ahead and put that in here. It's more of a, definitely more of a Army Ranger type color, but it's got the green overtones, woodsy. And then here is our cabin fever, which I'm loving. That's really beautiful. I'll hand stir these in, see how everything's going before I pull my stick blender back in here. All right. Oh, that's a pretty color. Very kind of mossy. That's lovely. Love it. All right, let me get my little... This camouflage is actually more of a brownish olive color, but it's perfect for what we're doing today. And we're pretty fluid, so I'm going to go ahead and stick blend for just a sec, and then hopefully we can get to pouring in our molds. Let me get this out. I'll stick blend both of these. Start in here, just a quick one. All right, I've got a nice light trace. So I'm going to go ahead and do an in the pot swirl here, just by swizzling it around, and then we'll bring over our molds and get them on their angle. And here's my tricky part. I try to eyeball them so that they're even. I have trouble getting my molds perfectly even. So I'm really hoping I can eyeball and get relatively similar mountain ranges. That's the goal. All right, let me set that off to the side and bring these lovely molds over. If I can tip this whole apparatus. There we go. Now you can see down one. And I'm just going to pour it in, and we're going to let this sit up for maybe 10 minutes or so. These are firm enough to move on, and I took the back of a spoon and just sort of made some little, texture in there so it would have a little definition in it. So those are going to just sit while we move on to our next step, which is our background purple mountains. And it was a little too purple, and I ended up throwing in just a dash of cappuccino mica and some of the camouflage mica from in here, just to sort of dull down the purple. I didn't want it to look, groovy and psychedelic. I wanted it to just have like a purple undertone, and I think I've achieved that. we're going to let this set up for a few minutes and we'll come in and texture and move on to our next step. And these are firm enough to move on to our next step, and I just did a little gentle texturing just to give it a little dimension after we pour. So now it's time to mix. I'm going to just scoot these off to the side, and it's time to mix up our night sky, which I'm hoping is going to be gorgeous. Okay, you guys, I don't want to be totally corn dogs here, but I am over the moon for these moon bars. I'm so tickled with how the colors came out. Yeah, so happy. So I'm going to get to cleaning these and stamping them over the moon for the moon bars.